to see more of these classes offered. And that's, I think, very important. I think the classes really are the best way to get out to students, because right now it is on everyone's mind, and you can say, hey, stop by this class and learn effective strategies for dealing with things like this. That includes not walking around a dark place with your headphones in, and you, like I said, also the bigger part to that is also learning how to actually defend yourself.
Yeah, Justin Shea. I think it's a matter. I think it's a matter of the university not losing momentum in the seriousness of the situation. They cannot forget, to keep safety on everyone's minds. It's a matter of them not losing their awareness. I think it's important that we keep on the info monitors safety tips, keep running them, months down the road, years down the road. I think that's important no matter what kind of situation is arising. Unfortunately it is a tragedy right now, but further down the road it is important that we keep those tips going well so it's always on the students' minds. It's so important to keep the awareness up. And also I think it's important that, I know UNRPD is willing to give talks, as much as we want. So I think it's a matter of inviting them back to have their presence on campus as well so students know that they're here as a resource. If they have any questions, to give advice on what to do if a situation does arise, to avoid any dangerous situations. I think it's just a matter of the university teaming up with the students with not losing momentum of the safety awareness that we have right now. So I just think it's important to keep it on the safety monitors, keep the workshops going, the classes, make it known in orientation. I think they're all great points, and so I would have to agree with those definitely.
Carmen, Gilbert. I know as a resident assistant, I'm actually planning a self-defense course for my residents in the next coming weeks, and I think the residence halls are a really great place to start because these students live on campus, and a lot of times because they live on campus, they can be lulled into this false sense of security because they feel like, hey, I live here, it's okay, it's just like home, I can walk around my neighborhood, it's not a big deal. When really it's a completely different environment, and really reaching out to those students and making sure that we're offering them services to make sure that they stay safe. And then also reaching out to club leaders to make sure that they tell their club members and that maybe they're planning programs to help with safety.
Dan Lucas from VoiceBox, asking another question. Since student involvement is way down along campus, it's basically an epidemic on campus, how would you raise awareness on campus, and how would you get students more involved in not only clubs, but in programs?
Carmen, Gilbert. I think there are a lot of great ways to reach out to students that aren't being utilized at this point. A.S.U.N needs to be actively reaching out to all club leaders, to all entities on campus, athletics and residence halls and clubs, and really telling them this is what's going on. You should get the people that you know that you can affect to get excited. I know as a resident assistant, when I'm excited about something, my residents are automatically excited about it too, and you can get involvement that way. And then another really great part about that I think we could do, that's actually part of my platform, is fixing the website. I think education about what's going on campus is the first step to students really getting involved. A lot of students don't get involved and they don't know what's going on, because they don't know where to go or when to go or what's out there. So I'd really like to fix the website so that students are checking that and using it as a tool to get connected to their campus.
Yeah, Justin Shane. I think it's important that we educate people about what A.S.U.N actually is. I know I've talked to numerous constituents, and they say they don't really know what the Associated Students of University of Nevada are, and what they do, what their goal is, what their principles are. So I think it's a matter of educating them about the actual organization of A.S.U.N, which in turn will lead to their involvement within clubs and orgs, and as well as programming. I think with an increased funding for clubs and orgs, it might raise their budgets up to have more programs, to increase advertising, to increase support, to increase all the necessary resources they need to get more recruitment, during the welcome week and stuff. So I think it's a matter of, and also at orientation, I think it's important that we have a lot of diverse clubs here on campus that don't really get enough recognition. And so some students might feel neglected that they don't have a club here that fits their needs. But I can assure you we do. We have over 250 clubs here, and there's something for everyone, I guarantee that. So I think it's a matter of, at orientation, at welcome week, to increase the recognition of these diverse types of clubs to the students coming in, that they have an outlet to go to, that they have somebody here with their same interests. I think that will increase, start from the beginning. Don't try to get people involved, their junior or senior year. Try to get them at the freshman level where they can become involved for the whole college career. I think it's important that we do that to increase the trend of getting involved early and getting involved with, with your interests, and there's something here for everyone, I guarantee you.
All right, with A.S.U.N, Eli Reilly is talking right now. I haven't said it the last couple of times, but Eli Reilly, I promise you, is talking. All right, when it comes to A.S.U.N, most students don't care about A.S.U.N because they don't know what A.S.U.N does. Most students don't know that A.S.U.N is in control of $1 million and potentially next year $1.7 million. A.S.U.N right now is a PR department that has one person as its staff member. We need to expand the PR department to have several different employees that work for every different kind of thing to get exposure for most of the things that A.S.U.N does. Sure, we have exposure for campus escort, and things like that, but we need to really have student leaders actively going out and talking to different clubs and other things like that to really spread the word about what A.S.U.N is and what it does for students. Because even when every student doesn't know what A.S.U.N is, they are touched by A.S.U.N whether they know it or not. By sitting in campus escort, or by going to a Thursday night movie series, anything like that. By increasing the amount of funding that we have for clubs and organizations, we can foster more involvement by clubs being able to be more attractive and say, oh, I can join this club and I can go to this conference maybe to learn different leadership styles. Or, oh, I went to this one event that this club put on that was, it was big and it was a lot of fun and maybe I'll get involved with it. And that goes for a lot of different things. That goes for homecoming as well. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love homecoming. This year, we made tremendous strides in making homecoming better. When I was a freshman on campus, we had no homecoming parade. This year we had over 20 floats, and we can only keep improving that by having more and more funding going to things like programming, because that fosters that kind of air of tradition on campus, and that's what kills apathy, is when students are involved and care about the campus, okay? And we can do that in several different ways. Something that I had talked to about, something that Speaker Green and I actually wanted to do this year, was create a tradition book. This is something that a lot of different campuses have. And it's basically just like a maybe 20, 25 page, it's a pamphlet, but it's sort of bound kind of nice, kind of like the Artemisia or some of the other campus publications, that we can send to every incoming freshman, because I think that educating freshmen is the most important facet of this. If we can educate the freshmen, that means next year when they're sophomores, they still see all these same great traditions going on, and then the freshmen that year would be interested. So then after a couple of years, this snowballs, and the entire campus is energized in a way that we have never seen before. And this is something that can be done with very little money. And this is something that we can definitely have available. A lot of students think that, oh, our campus has absolutely no tradition, and I think that is total BS. I challenge any student to go to the library and look at any campus yearbook from the past, and they will see that our campus is rich in tradition, whether you believe it or not. And as the director of programming this year, we've really tried to bring back a lot of those traditions. We've started a lot of first annual things, the first annual midnight pancake breakfast, first annual undie run that we have coming up that everybody should show up to. Mackey Week was practically dead last year. This year we have so many big things planned for it, it's unbelievable. And so what I would love to do is I would love to increase funding for things like that so we can really foster a much more tradition-oriented, meaning less apathetic campus.
Adam Hunt. This is what I'm all about, man. My campaign is grassroots almost completely. Like if you see, I have 2 signs on campus, but I want to bring government to the people, like to the students. That is totally what I'm all about. If anybody was out in front of the library yesterday from 12 to 1, I know I got at least 100 people to at least sit out there and think and try to talk about the issues amongst themselves. And I just think that's what we have to do. Kind of lost my train of thought. Can you repeat the question?
Yes, the question was concerning increasing student involvement on campus.
Oh yeah, we need to just get out there and get, in the student space. If I'm president, I'm going to propose that we have the first Senate meeting outside in front of the building. We'll give people free food if they participate, and we want to hear everybody's opinion. I would love that. I would love it. Thanks.
Okay, this is Nick from the Sagebrush again. And you mentioned that how A.S.U.N is going to have $1.7 million prospectively next year.
Potentially, yeah.
And I know a big portion of that comes from the bookstores, but also a good portion of that comes from student fees that we pay every semester. So considering you're spending a lot of students' money, what exactly what will the benefits be from that?
Asking me particularly.
Oh no, I was asking everyone. I was just using it as an example. I'm sorry.